Hello, my name is Yannick Nzinga of Team Cash Saver, and I hear that your organization is interested in running a project that will administer a fully functional responsibility center management model similar to ours. This project may seem daunting at first, but uh, with a little insight on how to meet its deliverables appropriately, you'll be well on your way to con- constructing and executing the best practices to achieve a fully operational RCM model for your budget department. As I mentioned before, I, along with Logan Walsh, Robert Barber, Amy Barden, coordinated with our sponsor Linda Lintz of the UCA's budget department to establish an automated dashboard for the budget department that separates the college budget. At the same time, determine how to disperse direct budget throughout the colleges based off of factors to be determined while working on the project. Deliverables we wanted to produce for UCA were an Excel workbook containing the budget of each colleges, financial calculation, a dashboard to better determine the dispersion of funds, process documentation, criteria for how to disperse indirect funds, and examples we found when researching other universities. Ultimately, wanted to measure the success of the project on one thing: project sponsor and champion approval of the final deliverables. So there were a number of turning points that were neat along the way when executing the project. Some of our major milestones were on January 28th, 2019, the kickoff meeting. On February 20th, 2019, the data collected. On March 15, 2019, research completed. March 2018, 2019, rough draft completed. On April 3rd, 2019, final product completed. And finally, on April 3rd, 2019, project was closed. For this process, it was vital to keep in touch with several people affiliated with UCA to make sure we were working with proper resources and filling out the necessary steps to make the best possible product. Linda Lintz, the director of budget, and Diana Newton, the vice president of finance and administration, were our sponsor and champion respectively. They played a vital role in the development of the project and were always available and cooperative when called upon. Here are some contact information for them. By all means, get a hold of them and ask them about our methods as well. So there were many different aspects of this operation that proved to be valuable when carrying out the 5 phases of this project's life. I feel like there were 3 specific agendas that had to be handled the way they transpired in order to deliver the best model possible for our organization. We thought that these were the best lessons to learn in order to have the project ran as smooth as possible. The first one of which is making sure that everyone contributes equally to the project. As a background, we realized that in many group project, there always tend to be people that do not contribute to the project, and there are others that tend to do the majority of the work. We did not want this project to be like that. So during the first week of the project, our team established guidelines to make sure that we all contribute equally to the project. And he had a really good impact in our project overall, because we were able basically to make sure that each person was working hard and holding each other accountable. And it has been something great that has worked for us, and we think that we did a good job to enforce this policy. The next positive lesson learned that we learned was establishing team roles, and to follow up on making sure that everyone contributed equally. It was important for us to establish team roles in our group to ensure that everyone works equally. So on February 15, we all decided individually on our roles in a team project. We did so by choosing free tasks on the website Teams, plus that we will be responsible to keep up with the rest of the semester. And this action dramatically changed our team perspective, and we've been doing great because everybody knew what he was supposed to do. Most important lesson to be learned while working on a project of this structure will be establishing team roles. So the hardest part about a group of people working on a project is often how they communicate and meet regularly. We had this problem in our teams until we decided on the best rules that can make or resolve this problem. So on February 8th, we all went to Team Plus to decide on what is the best way to communicate as well as to meet as a team regularly. So this had a really great impact in the way we communicated. We have been to communicate more effectively because of that, and on a regular basis, because we all came into an agreement of those rules. I think that we need to check or group me more often in order to stay in touch with every team project member. When you're working on a project of this magnitude, all of the team's action aren't going to be beneficial to the final result of your project. There are going to be a few bumps in the road, some learning curves that will have to be acknowledged in order to avoid them from stumping your progress. So here are some lessons that we had negative that we had who have that happen to have a negative impact on our project that you want to familiarize yourself with. Okay. We have had difficulties communicating with the group. So we happen to find out that everyone can always meet face to face to get things done. Sometimes you will have to use other forms of communication to express opinions or pass news of progress. Some group text or the email. We use GroupMe to communicate a lot, and had a difficulty expressing some things using the app. So we had a lot of difficulties using GroupMe. We basically decided to be more active on GroupMe in order to miss less group assignments, and check the GroupMe app on a daily basis, and we saw a dramatic improvement in our grades, in our assignments getting done, compared to the beginning where we didn't address this problem. Uh, we have the most important another negative lesson was forgetting my Team Plus assignments. That was actually a big one. We use Team Plus as a team building exercise and a source of team documentation that could keep track of our most essential practices. We could lose some reliability with our sponsor and champions for not always sticking up with a set agenda that they provide for us, and sometimes it will cost us resources, especially time. So it was really hard to be using Team Plus most of the time. We were forgetting a lot of our assignments, but we eventually were able to keep track of all the assignments due on my Team Plus because we made sure to inform everyone on the team. I think we improved a lot compared to the beginning, and towards the end, nobody missed any Team Plus assignments. Actually, we had some trouble overall with understanding the importance of documenting time for the project. Especially, we had difficulty, a lot of difficulty assessing Microsoft projects. So some of us did not have a PC, so we helped those who didn't have PC, and we were able to do all the assignment. But this had the potential to really make us lose a lot of points. But we did a good job as a team to help and support our team member when he was needing some assistance. We display team spirit. Yeah. So it's always good to be there when somebody needs assistance. Okay. That being said, I think our project was very successful. There were some things that brought us down. We we ultimately use the best practices to achieve our goals and give our organization a product, a product they are very proud of. I want to leave you all with a quote from Amy Morin about our overall experience. Sticking to good habits can be hard work, and mistakes are part of the process. Don't declare failure simply because you messed up or because you're having trouble reaching your goals. Instead, use your mistakes as opportunities to grow stronger and become better. I hope that you have a great success with your endeavors and have a wonderful experience with your projects.